I don't remember that much about PC gaming as a little kid really. My computer at the time ran Windows 98, was about the size of a caravan, and sounded like a Hoover having a heart attack every time you started it up. So while many people's memory of early PC games involves either witty adventure games or bang bang shooting affairs, the only game I really ever got working was this.
Let go. Let go.
That theme song man, it's got less lyrics than Around the World, but it will be in my head forever. Over the last decade, LEGO's become a huge IP in the video game world, with block interpretations of Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Lord of the Rings, Batman, Harry Potter, Schindler's List, Brokeback Mountain, and so on and so forth. But it all started here, with Lego Island, a game about a tourist site where apparently all the attractions are part-time jobs for 12-year-olds. Things kick off at the information centre, and it's kind of bizarre that this place exists at all, considering there's about 10 other buildings that offer any information about in the first place. You get a choice between 5 characters, which are all characterised with really low-res cutscenes, but the game is entirely played in first person anyway, so they may as well be the Jackson 5 up there for all the difference it makes. I decided to go for my usual choice of character, Pepper, the young pizza boy lad for the sake of getting nostalgic about the good old days. The announcer on the cutscene seems to get a little too excited.
Pepper, he's hot.
So in celebration of that guy's enthusiasm, I shall name my profile Pepilf.
Okay, let's get started.
Ah, yeah. Look at that. It's all flooding back to me now. This game controls like balls. It's that horrible kind of first person where there's no indication or acknowledgement of your character's form, how it moves around, so it just feels like you're playing as a shopping trolley with a video camera taped to it. A shopping trolley with several sandbags in it apparently, because you don't exactly move at a brisk pace. Dare to make a turn though and whoa, you'll spin around like your character has a dreidel for a spine. Combine the horrible movement with the fact that you can't walk on anything that isn't a path or a road, then what should be a simple task of getting around turns into one of those boring whole maze games. You'll crash into one side of the path, press the left key for about a nanosecond only to violently crash into the other side of the path. So don't get too used to the overworld as you'll spend the entirety of the game in the information centre just teleporting to the locations. So what do you actually do in this game? Well, there are racing and flying missions, I guess, but to get to any of these you need to build your vehicles. Now LEGO has 2 major functions in life, building stuff and being inexplicably painful to step on. So you'd think that this would be the game's strong point, but it's pathetic. You just click and drag past the designated drop zone with no ability to customise other than colours and stickers. And even this is obnoxious, because even if you are moving a piece and you accidentally Lego too early, it just jumps back on the shelf. There's not much to say about what you can do with the vehicles. You get a single 2-lap race on the jet ski and the race car. The jet ski race caused my capture software to start freaking out, in utter confusion of what the frame rate was supposed to be. You might think this is because I'm running the game on some fancy modern space computer with Windows 7 and freaking the game out, but no, this is pretty much what it looked like back in the day. The race car section is like the Wario stadium track from Mario Kart 64, designed by, and indeed for, 2-year-olds. The control issues haven't gone away as vehicles handle the exact same way as walking, so there's little in the way of sharp turns to upset little kiddie widdies. Why am I playing this? I'm like 21. The only real potential hazard is this giant skeleton pirate who kicks you back a super long way if he hits you, which is harder to avoid than it looks because you can barely tell where you are and the hit detection is weird. It's especially unfair that your 2 AI opponents can just drive through his legs. It's like the designers suddenly remembered they need to have some kind of challenge for the player, so they just put in a 50-50 chance of the game just stripping you of the lead randomly. It really is like Mario Kart after all. And after you've built your helicopter, you can go for a ride and why would they let you see the whole map like this? Look at it, it's disgusting! There's nothing to do up here. You can't fly to other locations, and all it does is expose how tiny Lego Island truly is. I hope a whale doesn't wash up on one of the beaches of this tiny floating plastic playset and probably launch everyone into the sea. It really makes you question how this place succeeds as a tourist attraction. There's barely anything on it, there's only one place to get food and they only serve pizza, there doesn't appear to be any hotels or available accommodation, and there's not even any fresh lady crumpet for a young guy like Pepper to get his leg over. In my extensive research for the review, I read in the first paragraph of the Wikipedia entry that Lego Island is supposed to be a comedy game, but just like a YouTube vlogger using jump cuts to teleport around their bedroom, or a retro game reviewer, Lego Island is not nearly as funny as it thinks it is. Now, I'm not saying it's entirely unlikable, it's just that its main comedy tactic seems to be to give all the characters ADHD and spaz out on the screen constantly with annoying sound effects. It rarely tries what you would call a joke, and when it does it's usually something like this.
Hello, I'm Bill Ding, sometimes William. And I'll just put this top cap on here and whoop. Attention, snap to it, at ease. Just kidding, it's The hat talking, not me. Anyway, back to building.
Building, because he likes building. That joke is so old, I think it was probably carved on a Santa Maria somewhere. And what is this? I honestly can't tell if this is a joke or a genuine error. Remember kids, if you can't think of a good joke, just spell the word incorrectly, and if possible put a cat face on the screen somewhere. There's one comedy scene that's so bizarre, I think it deserves to be appreciated in its entirety, so go ahead and soak this one in.
Do something! Click on him, somebody!
Hey!
Don't worry. If we can't save it, we can make it tomorrow night special.
Wow, what's that? What a relief.
We gotta put up a sign. No pets allowed.
Man, is it hard to get some sleep around here or what?
This seems as good a time as any to mention something I've always hated about this game, and that's whenever there's a screen transition or the game has to load, it goes into this blocky pixel thing. Now on my aforementioned modern space computer, it's not a huge issue as they come and go super fast, but back in the day this would fill up my screen for a long time. I just don't understand this. They might as well cut to a picture of some graph paper or something. It looks like a really bad Windows Movie Maker transition. And before you leave snarky comments below, I'll have you know that I use the really good Windows Movie Maker transitions. Oh, and let me introduce you to this guy. He's called the Brickster, and he occupies the only jail cell in town. Believe it or not, there's actually kind of a story in this game. Go to the pizzeria as Pepper and you'll be told to make a delivery to the jail, as ordered by one of the police officers. Apparently, he asked for it to be delivered to the jail cell with the no pizzazz sign as opposed to the station. But whatever, these guys are dumb.
Want a tip, Pepper? Okay, here's a tip. Learn to read, because the sign says, don't feed the Brickster. You see, I just put this baby near the lock and let the fumes do their work. I'm out of here.
Oh no! We've been duped! Hello? The Brickster then uses the pizza to break out of jail and flies off in the helicopter for stuff to pop off. Maybe this little development would have been more of a surprise if they hadn't given it away on the frickin' box art, or whatever. Other characters arrive on the scene and assure you this wasn't your fault.
Pepper, don't tell me you had anything to do with this. That plastic punk tricked you, didn't he? Say no more.
Lady, this isn't really something you can pass off as an act of God. I built the helicopter he escaped in, parked it right next to his cell with the keys in it, and then handed him the tool he used to escape despite a sign clearly saying not to. Well, nearly anyway. I think I've been a very bad boy and I deserve a spanking.
Pepper, he's hot.
Anyway, the Brickster steals the only ambulance on the island and starts dismantling the place brick by brick. The two cops on the scene tell you your job is to follow him around collecting evidence.
Pepper, follow him and click on everything he drops. We need it as evidence.
Keep on him,
Let's do it,
son.
team.
What do you mean collect evidence? The guy is destroying everything! Literally everyone on the island is a witness to it, and he's robbing them all of their livelihoods. Your testimony will be more than enough. What you should be doing is breaking out the Lego Star Wars kits to build some TIE fighters to turn this guy into smush, not preparing your court case against him. What the game means by evidence is actually the Brickster somehow dismantled the helicopter for no reason at all, and dropped the pieces for you to build it again, so enjoy doing that all over again, you chode. Once you've done that, the final battle begins. You patrol the skies as the cops chase the Brickster. You've customised the helicopter to have donut and pizza cannons. Shoot pizzas at the Brickster to slow him down, and shoot donuts at the cops to speed them up. Another great lesson for the kids. Remember, if you're training for a triathlon, just get down to your local bakery with a blender and make yourself a nice donut smoothie. Alright, we've got the Brickster trapped here, and I've got him pinned down with like 5 pizzas. Well, apparently he's stuck. I know them feels, bro. You gotta watch out for the bread, it really puffs you out around the waist.
Bread makes you fat?
Well, the cops will be on him any second at this rate, and the island will be saved and... what happens now? Do we just call this a draw? It crashed. Why do all the games I review crash? Well, I guess we're done here then. I guess I have to see all you guys next time. Oh, wait, that doesn't work.